our studio in Boston, Massachusetts. Welcome to the Smokin Tabacco Show with your hosts, Matt Tobacco and Smokin Nicole.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Smokin Tabacco Show. My name is Matt Tobacco from SmokinTabacco.com, and I am joined once again by my very good friend, Mr. Mitchell Santaga. Mitchell, how are you? Oh, he's muted. Oh no, what happened? Oh, there it is. It was done on my
There we
end.
go.
I gotcha.
We're
Quick
good. We're
fix.
good. Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm great. It's starting to feel a little bit like Canada down here. It's getting really cold.
Yeah, we had a little cold spell here, but it's actually starting to warm up. It's we had snow yesterday, but it only stuck around for about 10 hours.
Yeah, I heard we're getting a pretty bad wind chill this weekend. It's gonna be aggressive. It's gonna be negative double digits.
Wow.
Up here in New England, apparently. I don't know. I'd have to ask Nicole again. She told me, but so getting prepared for that. It's been a busy week. It's awards went out this week. Well, more of the awards
Yep.
went out this week. So today we announced our Person of the Year, as well as our Accessory of the Year. Quick shout out to Hector Alfonso from Espinosa Cigars. What's up, David, Bruce, Xavier? What's going on, everybody? Thank you for being here tonight.
Thanks for tuning in.
Just a huge shout out to him. Congratulations to everything that he and the Espinosa team have done, but more importantly, to him personally, he was the winner of the Person of the Year, as well as a shout out to New Air. Their 1500 count electric cool and humidor, all in one unit. It's fantastic. We'll be putting a review up on the website pretty soon. That is our 2022 Accessory of the Year. There was a handful of things. It was pretty close, but ultimately that had the most complete package that really impressed us. So just a huge shout out on the awards.
That Person of the Year award was probably one of the harder ones. We were going back and forth a lot trying to figure out where we want to go with that, and
it was.
There was a lot of options. We don't have like a huge team to be doing like massive votes or anything. It's more just a conversation that we have, and I'd say at the end of it probably, with no secret, obviously, with Hector coming out with it, it was really between at the end Hector and Eric, right? Like, who do we choose? Obviously, Espinosa was in there, but who do we choose, right?
Yeah.
And it's a tough decision, man.
It's interesting because
the whole team gets recognition.
Yeah, and it does. But even outside of them, there was some other options mentioned. Oliver Nouveau was mentioned with his work with,
of course,
with United. But United ended up getting Company of the Year, which kind of really encapsulated everything that Oliver has done too. So,
even Pete getting what number would we give number 4? Pretty much anyone on that top 10 list.
Pete was number 3.
Stuff.
Yeah, Pete Johnson.
There you go, number 3.
Pete Johnson was in the running as well. I mean,
it was a tough decision.
And it was funny because a lot of the names that we've mentioned are also names that the Coop team was also kind of going back, because I was talking to Coop about it, and he was like, those are some names that we all went back and forth too. And I'm like, so yeah. I mean, that's a pretty good read if everyone's kind of has the same similar names. So again, congratulations to him. I don't know if we announced our other award winners on the show yet. Did we? Well, because we've been trying to stay away from end of the year stuff on Spare Notes, but on our show it's fair game. So
yeah, our entire kind of awards list. I don't know if we've mentioned it.
So La Flor Dominicana got our award for Best Innovation. Steve Saka was the recipient of our Best Show Guest. He was the highest viewed guest across all platforms and all interviews, which includes both our TPE and our TPE and PCA show interviews. He was the highest rated across the board. Also, he was one of the biggest demanded ones. I mean, everyone wanted.
He was only slightly ahead of my debut show. I'm just gonna say that. Almost at.
You know what, Nicole? You can flex that. I mean, that's it's all in the numbers.
It was the top 25 cigar list show, which is usually one of the more popular ones. But hey, I'm just saying it could have been me, the debut show, or it could have been the list. I don't know.
I mean, I don't want to burst your bubble, but I feel like more people came for the list versus either you or me. So let's let's
I would
just
have
both
to
be
agree.
real.
I would have to agree.
As I mentioned before, United Cigar is our company of the year for 2022. I don't want to get too into those because we have a pair of guests that we're going to bring on in just a second. So, but I just wanted to highlight those since the last of the awards are rolling out. Our Factory of the Year award will probably be out tomorrow. I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna wait till it gets officially posted. So we do have our Factory of the Year, which will be announced tomorrow. And I think that's it. Or was there one that I'm missing? I think that's our last award. I have to double check. I think that's our last award, though. So the awards season will come to a close, and we'll get more in depth with it either on the next Spare Notes or the one after. I can't remember which one we all agreed on. So just stay tuned for that. On one of the next Spare Note shows, we'll go into not only all of our stuff, Coop stuff, but everyone else's stuff. We'll talk about the consensus and everything too. So just stay tuned for that.
All
We'll do
the
a whole
lists, all the awards.
That's gonna be another long show. So just get ready for that one. That'll probably be a 3-hour show.
Lots of disagreements with what we think was right or wrong on people's parts.
Yeah, especially from Old Man Coop. You know, he's always got something to say, which is fine because that's what makes it awesome. So, but without further ado, I do want to bring our guests on the show. I don't want to keep them waiting too much longer. This is an amazing couple that I've had the opportunity to get to meet and interview over the last couple of years at the trade shows and maybe a couple of other events as well. They have a really awesome company. It's Hiram and Solomon Cigars. You may have heard of them. Maybe you haven't. If you haven't, maybe you learn a little bit more about them tonight and some of the great cigars that they make. And without further ado, I'm going to bring on Fouad and Romy from Hiram and Solomon. And there they are. Hey, guys.
Hello.
How are you?
We're doing fine, doing great.
It's so nice to be on your show, and thank you, Matt and Mitchell, for having us. But mainly, Matt, you just said we met at trade shows. It's so good to see us growing with you guys. So it's kind of a mutual kind of pleasure.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I know that we've talked about it, about getting you guys on the show, but you know, as controlling and running the show is, it's, you know, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of scheduling stuff, and you know, we've gone back and forth a little bit. But this year I said I need to make this happen because I've been wanting them on. I wanted you guys on the show last year, and for some reason we just did not make that work scheduling wise. So I made it a priority to make sure that I got you guys on right away this year because it's always a pleasure to see you guys, and you guys always have something new at the shows, and you have interesting stuff that you do that usually revolves around the cigars that you make too. So I just figured it was very fitting to have you guys on tonight. But before we get too in deep, what are you guys smoking with us tonight?
I'm smoking the Revival. We released it with two different other cigars also. The other one is the Sublime Prince, which Fouad is smoking now. And we released also the Chabal last year at the PCA, so this summer indeed. This is part of our charity, let's say, kind of venture, because we have a North Carolina and Georgia Grand Lodges or Grand Master of North Carolina commissioning us to make a special cigar for them in order to collect some funds and some donation. So we're going to talk more probably around this subject later on. I'm smoking the Revival, Fouad is smoking
Sublime Prince. I think, Mitch, you're smoking the Sublime Prince, right? Or no, Matt.
I'm smoking the Sublime Prince. I have a Revival on backup in case I get to it. And Mitchell, what are you smoking?
Again, as everyone knows, I'm up in Canada. Hiram and Solomon don't have distribution here yet, but they will be soon. And we're really excited to get their cigars up into the Great White North. But I decided to go with another cigar that the same people distribute, and another nice boutique cigar, the Dapper Siempre Sun-Grown. This is smoking very nicely, but I'm very excited to try some of that Hiram and Solomon stuff as soon as it lands here.
Hopefully very soon.
Actually, we are almost in Canada, let's say. It's just a matter of time for the product to be in Canada, but we do have a distributor, As you know, the Canadian Crafts, Barry and Kent are our distributors in Canada. So let's say we're almost there. We're halfway there. We have, almost waiting for the product to be ready for the Canadian specs in terms of bands and presentation, of course.
We got a lot of rules over here, unfortunately, and right now we're actually fighting to try to keep away even more labeling rules because the government's trying to impose some more stuff. But yeah, it's I talked to Barry, and they're very close to starting to hit shelves. Very excited.
Yeah, I was happy to hear that the PCA is going to be involved in Canada also to help guys fight. And whomever is listening, it's your job to fight your local government because each voice counts. And if you say somebody else is doing it, I don't need to do that, you're wrong. You need to make your voice heard at your local municipalities, your local congressman, local government. You need to send them letters. You need to send them emails. You need to make it heard that we have a voice and we have the freedom to smoke whatever. We're adult and we have the freedom to do it. So we need to fight back, not just sit down and accept what they're throwing at us.
Every little
exactly.
Helps,
Yeah. So, cigaraction.org. Everybody get to cigaraction.org, and it's really easy. Just takes 5 minutes to sign up, and they write everything for you in a couple of clicks, and your name and your voice is being heard into Parliament, whether you're in Canada or the United States. So,
absolutely, very well said from all of you guys. Thank you for that. We always like to remind everyone about the PCA, the CRA, the CAA, and all those things. But it is your job. You gotta fight for your cigar rights with your local government, your state government, even the federal government too. So Mitchell is a crown jewel example of what cigars could be like for you if you snooze on this. And he's talked about it on this show and the other show so many times. You could have plain packaging, and you could have taxes that raise your prices 200 or 300%. So it's scary. It's very scary stuff. Mitchell lives it. So if you don't want that here in the United States, you need to wake up and pay attention, because it is a real threat. I just wanted to point out our cigars tonight are once again brought to you by none other than the number2guyscigars.com. Head over to the number2guyscigars.com today for one of the biggest and widest selections of premium cigars and accessories in the cigar industry, and that you can find that at the number2guyscigars.com. And as always, we are cutting and lighting our cigars with Cigar Blondie accessories. And I have them right here. I have my cigars already cut and lit. Unfortunately, I already started smoking, but I cut it with the amazing Cigar Blondie double guillotine cutter and lit it with the amazing sleek flat blade flame lighter, only from cigarblondie.com. Let's get right into it. Last year, we touched on this a little bit with the intro, the Sublime Prince, the Revival. Those are two new cigars that you guys had last year. But a little backstory on you guys first, before we actually get to that. Your brand is mostly themed around the Freemason society or group, or however you would call that. Because I know you guys are members of that. Or Fouad, you're a grandmaster in the Masons, correct?
Just a master.
Just a master, okay.
Yeah.
Now, so how long ago did you start the brand, and how long have you been involved with the Masons?
I've been involved with the Masons over 27 years right now as a member of the draft. And in 2003, I became master of my lodge and got involved in multiple other projects with the Grand Lodge and stuff like that. But as far as the cigars goes, January 4th of this year, we celebrated our 8th anniversary. So we've been in existence for 8 years right now.
Wow.
A couple of years prior to that, with some work and research and stuff like this. So as a whole, it's about 10 years in the making. So we're still a baby. We're still crawling, and hopefully soon we'll be up and running.
Yeah, I mean, you guys
Nice.
have done an amazing job in your. I don't want to call it short, because you talk about almost a decade. I mean, that's a significant amount of time. But compared to a lot of most manufacturer's been around for several decades, right? That's still, you guys have accomplished a lot, and you've had a good amount of recognition in that time, and you've also been able to use your brand to give back to a lot of other organizations and groups, which I know is a big thing that you guys do at Hiram and Solomon, is a lot of charity stuff, a lot of different charities too. It's not all usually one charity from what I remember. I know. So we talked about last year the Sublime Prince came out and the Revival came out. Tell us a little bit more about how you've been able to use your brand to give back to charities and communities through the amazing, love of the leaf, so to speak.
Yeah, go ahead, start, and I will finish.
Well, it all started with the 3 degrees, which was the Emperor Apprentice, Fellow Craft, and Master Mason. For the brothers, they will understand that this is the 3 degrees. In order to become a Mason, you have to go through all 3 of them until you are a fully fledged Mason, which is also goes in category. And right after that, we created the Shriners, which was also dedicated to become mainly focused on the Shriners' donations, which we do humbly or in a modest way.
Shriner
Hospitals and of course all their functions. We are pretty much, participating in as much as we can. Right after that, it was a traveling man again for Dyslexic Center for different charities we participated in. After that, it all started also growing into different lodges and grandmasters who we had the idea to create a certain cigar for that state in particular, where part of the proceeds will go to their specific charity. It started here in New Jersey with before the Unity also, but it wasn't yet called
the
Unity.
anniversary.
It was the anniversary in London. The first real outside Hiram and Solomon that was dedicated to a certain charity in particular was the Coast Guard. Also, Fouad is here helping me with all the different charities we're involved with. But then, like I said, this year, I just dropped my ash. I just lost it. So now the past 3 years, we're growing into finding. They were finding us too, so we donated to different grand lodges. It was New Jersey for 3 different years, and North Carolina, of course, Georgia, recently Georgia, and many other grand lodges are also reaching out. And that way we are now creating special cigars for different states.
It's not a secret, if I'm going to say. At the beginning, the Brotherhood, the Masons, were a little bit conservative about whether to support such a project.
Yeah, I was going to ask how they felt about it.
Yes, we start seeing more acceptance to a point where now most of the grand lodges getting in touch with us, hearing what we're doing, hearing what our company is all about, which we started again as a charitable organization, small charitable organization that specific to small lodge in South Jersey, and from there we grew into almost over 700 lounges right now, and over 30 countries. Of course, the Brotherhood helped in spreading the word, but that goes only so far if we did not have enough a good product for them to support. The support eventually will stop. So most of our charity is not just a Masonic charity. We go out from the Coast Guard to dyslexic centers, Shriner hospitals, local municipalities, local schools, and many other charities. And
small personal charities that people have,
absolutely.
Like a deceased person when they want to do certain, how do you call it, collect some money for the school, scholarship, for somebody, I don't know, who passed away and the family is going through something. As small or as big as the donation, it's still something we take it to heart.
But definitely our biggest accomplishment, it's the Cigar for Warriors, which we proudly say that we were the first company that we teamed up with the Cigar for Warriors to have a cigar specifically made for them called Live to Serve. And 100% of those proceeds of those cigars, 100%, I will stick by that, 100% of the proceeds of those cigars went to charity for the Cigar for Warriors. Every cigar sold, the money was donated back, the proceeds back to the Cigar for Warriors. And what we made us more proud, that since we started this program, 6 other different cigar companies, much bigger than us, followed the suit. So we, as we say, we put the seeds there, and we're seeing it now grow with the Cigar for Warriors, because these warriors, these soldiers that are serving overseas, they deserve every attention that we can give them and every respect. So
Just tell them what is. I mean, I'm sure probably 90% of the viewers here or listeners do know about the Cigar for Warriors Association. At least let us just say a little bit more about them for those who are not aware.
Absolutely,
So
go ahead.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Good. Cigar for Warriors are an organization, a group of volunteer veterans that
Hardworking.
very hardworking. Actually, they put more than full time in this organization that collects cigars from different cigar lounges and ship them to the soldiers serving overseas. So on top of their work, they do donate their money also to ship, and they do an amazing job. Over 1 million cigars as of I think the end of last year. Over 1 million cigars were shipped overseas because of these guys, from Storm to the rest of the team. I really salute these guys and salute every soldier that is sitting there waiting for a package like this to arrive and for them to light the cigar.
We take the pride to be part of that work, that devotion they have, and we are as devoted. Just probably their devotion was so contagious, so real, so genuine. So we really take that to as a big thing. I mean, it's a pride. It's our pride also to be part of Cigar for Warriors Association and serving whatever we can, as little as we are, still doing a big job for us. It's a big thing.
Yeah, I remember that cigar. That cigar is made, if I remember correctly, that's at PDR in the Dominican Republic.
Yes.
Indeed.
Which you
And
guys.
we cigars to PDR now.
Say that again, Romy?
All our cigars now are made at the PDR, are made in Dominican Republic at the PDR factory.
All of them. Okay. Yeah, I was just going to ask you that question. Yeah, and that's a great factory. You know, Abe does a great job down there, and they've made some great cigars. They made some great cigars for themselves, some for other people. So a good shout out to the folks over there. I know you guys have worked with them, a lot. And I remember last year at TPE, you guys had, speaking of Cigars for Warriors, you guys had done a check presentation, and I can't remember what was the amount you guys. It was I think it was the first donation.
10,000.
10,000.
Wow.
For the first batch of cigars we create, for the first batch we received, we sold 100% of those cigars, and 100% of the proceeds again went to the Cigar for Warriors.
And how much money have you raised since then, like in total?
Well, we should be donating another similar check very soon to them also.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's really awesome.
Yes.
I know that
They definitely need every dollar in the help.
On top of the cigars that we send to them, on top of it, as cigars, boxes, and stuff like this, that we donate either directly to them or to lounges to collect money and give it back to them also. So if the number is much bigger than those 2 checks, so
of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you guys. When we met with you guys last year, like I said, we saw the Sublime Prince, we saw the Revival. We had talked a little bit before the show, but I'll kind of reiterate for the audience and the listenership at home. You guys won't be at TPE this year, correct?
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna be in Dominican for
The
for
Pro
the
Cigar.
festival and the Pro Cigar Festival, and of course because we have different appointments with distributors from around the world, and of course with PDR to create even better and more cigars in the pipeline.
David has a remark over there. I swear there is no industry as giving as loving as the cigar industry. You're absolutely right, David. You're absolutely right.
He's right.
Thank you.
He is right, and David's a great guy. He knows that very well. He's been involved with Cigar Family Charitable Foundation, which is one that we at Smokin Tobacco are extremely involved with. As many people know, we just announced this week we will be running our third annual Cigar Family Charitable Foundation raffle, and you can read more about that at smokintobacco.com. I don't want to get into that right now. Maybe we'll at the end of the show, but also, you guys have been a part of that too. You guys have, in the last couple of years, you guys have donated stuff towards the raffle to go towards that foundation as well. So I just want to say on behalf of that organization, thank you very much, because every little bit counts, and everyone at Hiram and Solomon was involved in that as well. So thank you very much. And it's great to be in the presence of other people who understand the bigger picture. You know what I mean? Making great cigars is making great cigars, and that's always fun, and that's why we all smoke them in the first place. But it's a lot of times, and Mitchell, I know you can probably speak to this too. I mean, the other half of it, like David was saying, I mean, this industry is very unique, and it's a very generous industry. It's an industry that's very tight-knit, very close. They're always willing to help other people. And, certainly, I mean, you guys aren't the only ones, but certainly you guys do stand alone with the amount of stuff that you actually do. Which I think is really special for you and your brand, to be kind of known for how much you guys give back to other people, and I think that's something to be proud of.
Thank you so much.
Well, that's how it all started also. It started basically for a certain charity or for a scholarship. That's how the whole brand started. The idea was not to create a cigar company. The idea was to
collect money for scholarship.
Right.
And actually it turned into a nice path. It took a beautiful path, and here we are. And again, we take a big pride in that, and trying to be even bigger in our charitable vocation.
Yeah, many companies can create great cigars. There is a lot of beautiful cigars in the market, but having a good cigar with a good cause and a story behind it and a history behind it, it's something hard to combine all together, all the whole three together. So we're proud that we accomplished some of it. We still have a lot of work to do in the upcoming years, and hopefully we'll be up to the challenge.
Now, one thing I wanted to ask you guys, for those who might not know, kind of going a little bit back towards your backstory as a brand, and kind of who you are. The name Hiram and Solomon, where does that come from? What's the significance? How does that relate to the brand and all that?
Being a Masonically themed cigars, we had a little hard time trying to find a name for the cigars, and until we settled on the Hiram and Solomon. Hiram and Solomon are two grandmasters that the legend grandmasters that we call them. Solomon being King Solomon from the Old Testament, and Hiram being there's two Hirams actually. One King of Tyre. In the old city during King Solomon, which we're talking probably about 6,000 years ago, the Phoenician times. And then Hiram, what they call it, the widow's son, which was the architect. The story said that King Solomon asked Hiram, King of Tyre, to help him build the temple of the temple of the Solomon Temple in Jerusalem. And which Hiram responded by sending all the men and all the material, since he was a very rich man. And at the same time, he sent them a man called Hiram, who was the chief architect. And there's a story behind it that Hiram, the architect, gets killed
for
not divulging the secret without the three being together. So we take that story and we build it into our history of the Masons as far as integrity and honesty and stuff like this. So and loyalty, definitely. So what we call it in our fraternity, the first three grandmaster, King Solomon, Hiram, King of Tyre, and Hiram, the widow's son. So we took the Hiram and Solomon's name and named that cigar.
The legendary figure.
The company, the legendary figure of the Masons.
Wow.
Cool.
That is really cool. A lot of history there. I like how there's a good story behind it. It's meaningful. It's impactful, and obviously, with everything that you guys do with the Masons, I mean that's That's really cool. I like that. I like when there's a good story behind it. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of the brands, not that it's a bad thing. A lot of it's a great thing, honestly. But a lot of the brands out there, they're family names, and it's the name of the family. Arturo Fuente, Patron,
Well,
Perdomo,
sometimes
which is
some
great.
with their history as well. So that's the least they can do. Just keep the name of family, like you mentioned now, Fuente. What's better than Fuente itself? It's just Fuente. You don't need more than that.
Right.
You need that. It's a legendary family, and bless them also with all the charities they do. They are involved also, and they make great cigars. That just, if I have to say a little acknowledgement or appreciation for the job they do, of course.
Yeah, no, and it's those ones are pretty self-explanatory. But when you have some of these other ones that are not name-based or family name-based, it's always interesting to hear the story behind it. We had Apostate Cigars came on and they told their story about their background. You got Tatuaje with Pete Johnson's pretty self-explanatory for those who know who Pete is. But stuff like that. It's just it's nice to get the backstory, the history of the brand too. The significance of the names. There's some really interesting brands out there with the names. So, again, I know there's a lot of people that may have not have heard of your brand, so they kind of be like, oh, like I've heard of that, but like, what does that mean, or who are they? So this is a great way for everyone to kind of learn a little bit more about you guys, who you guys are, what the theme is really around what you do, which is great. I know we talked a little bit before about the trade show. You guys won't be going to TPE, but you guys will be attending PCA later this year. I know you mentioned that before. Is there anything?
Yeah,
Is there any new projects that we'll see at PCA, or is it kind of just business as usual and kind of building
No,
on what you guys already have?
well, actually, we are in the middle of a transition between moving all the production from Nicaragua to Dominican Republic, and which we took the opportunity since we moved everything to rebrand everything from the bands to the boxes and improve on the cigars that we have. So soon enough, we're gonna reintroduce those the new bands, the new boxes, the new cigars, and definitely is going to be new cigars coming up. PCA will definitely have something very special. Hopefully by that time we'll be ready. It is sitting and aging at this moment, and will be ready for PCA to be rolled.
And may I say, mind you, here that our participation in PCA or other trade shows, it's never for business, really business as usual, because that's quite a lot of money that you pay there just to be there. But the idea is the rights to fight for, and that's the reason we support PCA. Nothing against other trade shows at all. We're not going to TPE for one reason, because we're going to be in the Dominican. But PCA or the other shows or trade shows, we are there to support the cause as much as they're fighting for us. So it's a kind of a reciprocating for the hard work they are behind that whole trade show. So it's not just the business; it's our presence there is to make a statement that we support them and we support the cigar industry. All of the brands in the market are there also fighting a certain cause, and all of us were fighting for some freedom. I don't want to turn it into political discussion here, but it is fight for our rights, fight for freedom of choice.
Absolutely, I fully agree, and I'm sure Mitchell, you would agree as well.
Of course.
We have Jennifer Nicole on also. Hi, Jennifer.
She's our
national.
We're proud to say she's our national brand ambassador, and a hardworking lady, very knowledgeable in the cigar industry. And when we say Jennifer is going to be there, she's our superstar, and we're very, very proud to have her in the family.
I was gonna say, yeah, she is here as well as Rod is with us too. I know he works with you, but yeah,
also,
yeah.
Rod is probably that brother you wish you had in your life any time of your life. So Rod, we salute you for the genuine hard work you put behind, and he's the person who has zero ego and a lot of genuine what do you say, like everything good I can say about the beautiful people here, and mentioning that you just mentioned what we mentioned.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I noticed that Jennifer was watching. I've watched her from a distance, through social media, and she really has. She's become, the face of the brand, and she's out there and she's doing events and she travels around and we've seen her at the trade shows and whatnot, and yeah, she seems like she's doing a fantastic job. So congratulations to her too, with everything that she's done, and real winner for you guys, I must say.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, you mentioned kind of transitioning all of your production from Nicaragua to the Dominican. Obviously, I'm not 100% sure who you were with before Nicaragua. Was it Plasencia?
Yes.
So, assuming you were using a lot of their tobacco, are you planning to still use all the same tobaccos, have very similar blends, or are you going to be kind of revamping everything from the ground up, like you mentioned, bands, boxes? Are blends going to change a little bit, or are they planning to be as close as possible? I know it can never be the same. It's like a kitchen that moves. It's the same recipe, but it's in a new place. What's the plan on that?
Well, the revamping mostly is cosmetic. The band and the boxes, the blends will, in general, will stay the same unless we are forced to change some of it, or if we're sure we can make it much better. There are some tobacco that we may not be able to get because they were in Nicaragua, they were not available, maybe in Dominican, but we will definitely, any switch that's going to be, it's going to be as equal or the same. Now let's not forget the same thing with the wine, same with the cigars and everything. Even if you're doing a cigar in the same company year after year, your cigar can be a little different because every year the crop is different than the year after or the year after. Same like the wine with the grape and everything. So we try to match as close as possible. And if there's any way or any chance that we can improve on that cigar, it will be done.
But the
Nice.
source of tobaccos are almost, if I might say 100%, maybe I'm wrong, but would be like 98% of the blends will be similar to the ones we had previously.
Yeah, to go into that more, I've just noticed that you guys really, in almost half of your, if not more than half of your core line, you like to use a tobacco in your filler that is not super common, and it's Omotepe. Omotepe is a very strong tobacco and has a very characteristic flavor. Again, was it your choice to kind of go with that, or whoever you're blending with, was it them that kind of like pointed you in the direction? What kind of, again, I don't know if you want to get into the nitty gritty of that, but I always find that very interesting when, some people will dabble in it, but you guys have really gone full force into Omotepe in your fillers for sure.
No, it's actually it is what fitted our profile at that time. We are not tobacco expert, as to say, so I would have not known the difference between Omotepe or Jalapa or anything stuff like this. It's the profile that we care about, and definitely with the suggestion of the master blender in the specific cigar factory, that to include these either Ometepe or most of our cigars have some Paraguayan even, which is very very rarely used also. So we use that also. So it fitted the profile. Whatever it fits the profile, that's what we use. Because every cigar that we name, we create, has a specific name, has a specific story behind it, specifically named for that. So, like the Master Mason, it is the Maduro for a reason. The Enter Apprentice is Connecticut for a reason. Each one of our cigar, when we choose the name, we choose the strengths of the cigar, the flavor of the cigar according to the name of it, and the purpose of that cigar. So, whatever tobacco that fits that profile, that's what we will use.
It's a big teamwork. Like a brainstorming goes way before the blends are there. So we sit with the blenders, with the master blender, and with, of course, sometimes, I mean, at the PDR factory, Abe being our mentor, or like I said, like somebody who likes to guide. He never puts his own formula. Let's put it that way. But we create a profile, and then literally we sit for hours and hours. Trust me, each blend can go up to 30 different smoke and different aging processes and re-smoke and re-decide and
Reblend,
reshuffle, reblend.
reblend.
Sure.
It's an amazing, passionate kind of.
It's a beautiful process.
Yeah,
It's a very
that's
beautiful
that's
process.
awesome. It sounds like, you know, each brand you're putting a lot of effort into making the cigar that represents that name, especially because each of those names have some sort of Masonic, you know, heritage to it, and you want to do justice to every single one of those by creating something genuine and built from the ground up, not just something like, hey, we've got something in the factory, I think it might work. It's you're sitting down and trying everything and making sure that the cigar tells the story that represents the name.
Especially now, we're at the stage where people are really challenging us, expecting even completely different experiences, because we have lots of good cigars out there, and to each his own favorite cigar or favorite kind of body or strength, and we try as much as we can to please all the crowd and to love it ourselves before anybody else. It just, we know what people are expecting from us, but then again, we share that way before it's in the market. The cigars go through so many different smoking processes from us to different people. We send it out there to people we know that they're just going to give us their straight opinion without being biased or anything. Like, oh, wait, we love the cigar. No, we want the critics over there. That's the only way we can improve and we can, climb the ladder and go higher and higher. And we don't want any mediocre cigar. And as you know, I mean, the factories we work with do not produce any mediocre cigar, but it's, again, something we want to please our friends, our family of smokers, and why another person will go, and even the Masons, if you're giving them a cigar that's not going to please them, maybe they're going to like it and they're going to try to support you once and twice and thrice, but at the end, this is something with you and yourself. So if you're going to buy it from a certain store, the target is to create something where the client or the smoker will be there and choose Hiram and Solomon for the specific reason, and that's what we aim for.
Awesome.
Greetings to worshipful brother Harvey Dean over here. So hello, worshipful brother.
Yeah, we got a great audience here tonight. Thank you to everyone who's watching the show. A lot of people here showing support for you guys, which is great to see. I want to stop really quick. I want to hit our news segment, Mitchell. We're gonna do the news really quick, and then we'll kind of come back and wrap up the show. Our news is once again brought to you by Micallef Cigars. If you head over to micallefcigars.com today, you can sign up to become an official ambassador. And while you're at it, head over to their Facebook group, the Micallef Ambassadors Group, and join to smoke and socialize with all of your fellow ambassadors. This week from General, do you know the brand Chillin Moose, right?
Yes, I've heard of Chillin Moose. Yep.
Yeah, so Chillin Moose will introduce the Shady Moose, Connecticut Shade Blend. March is going to charge in like a moose. Chillin Moose and its beefy sidekick, Bull Moose, will soon welcome a Connecticut cousin called Shady Moose. A new line of cigars made with an Ecuadorian Connecticut shade wrapper, a first for the Chillin Moose franchise. Shipping to retailers on March 1st, Shady Moose will launch it as a full-time line with 3 new sizes, including the first Toro for the growing Chillin Moose trio. Handcrafted in Honduras at the Hatza factory, Shady Moose is a 6-country blend wrapped in Ecuadorian Connecticut with a Mexican binder and a selection of long filler tobacco from the U.S., Colombia, the Dominican Republic, and Nicaragua. The mellow to medium body blend is stout-hearted with a slightly spicy white pepper notes balanced by hints of earth, wood, and cream. So keep an eye out for that at your local Forged General cigar retailer, or as always, you can always head over to, I think, twoguyscigars.com carries this brand, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, nothing better than a moose chilling in the shade, eh?
Eh?
It's a majestic sight. A moose.
Yeah,
you
probably see more moose up there than we do,
dude. Meese, as I think they are pronounced,
as a plural.
Moose. As a plural thing, I don't know. We'll have to Google that later. But it's definitely not moose is.
No, I know
moose
that.
Or meese as plural.
Like deer.
But,
deer is like a deer or multiple deer. I thought it was that.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Isn't the moose like the national animal of Canada?
Now the beaver is.
Ah.
The beaver. Yeah.
Okay.
The beaver. But no, I've never seen a moose. They're actually quite rare. And they can be extremely aggressive and massive. They ain't so chill.
Yeah,
Except when
no.
they're in the shade.
I've never encountered one, but I've been
Yeah,
told.
you don't want to.
I was told
I've
by
seen
someone who
bears.
lives in Maine, right? They were like, if you are driving down the road and you see a moose, like, and you know you're gonna hit the moose, they're like, don't slow down. If anything, speed up as fast as you can and try to blow through it. And I was like, why? And they were like, and this is what this person told me. I don't know. I don't live in moose country. They said the mentality is the faster you just blow right through it, hopefully you get through to the other side. If you slow down and that thing collapses on top of you, you're a goner. I mean, unless you're in like a big vehicle, but if you're in like a small car, I mean, you want to try to, and you know that there's no way to avoid it. You're gonna hit it. Like at least try to blow the legs out and get through it, because if you hit it and it's like stop and it falls on you, it's probably gonna crush you. I don't know how accurate that is. I don't live in moose country, but that's what I was
I don't
told.
know. We'd have to send that one to Mythbusters.
You know, while we're here, let's touch on the other thing too, just really quickly. We did announce earlier this week that we're going to be doing our third annual Cigar Family Charitable Foundation raffle that I talked about a little bit earlier. So very excited about that. Mostly just going to we're just announcing this right now. It doesn't begin until March 17th at 9 a.m. I know that a lot of people have asked about, you know, the timing and being with the Great Smoke. It's a 6-week thing. It's not a 1-day thing.
Oh.
It's not a weekend thing.
Yes.
This will be running for 6 weeks. It will end April. Oh man, the end date always is the 25th or the 24th. 26th. It'll end on the 26th. That's a Wednesday. At 5 p.m. It'll stop taking tickets or general donations. Last year, I don't know if anyone who remembers, it was only tickets. This year, you can buy tickets, as many as you want, whatever you want. You also have the opportunity to just make a general donation if you don't want to participate in the raffle, but you want to donate. There's a general donation option. So that will be there as well. That night on the 26th is a regular show night, and we're still working on who will be on the show and what the celebration will be, but we'll be doing the big reveal show again. We'll announce everyone who has prizes, and following the show, for those who didn't see it or hear it or whatever, the emails will go out after the show letting you know whether you were picked and what you got, or if you were not selected. So you should know either way whether you won or not. In your email, once again, when you donate, you should get a link. So always check for your email after. You should get a link that allow you to share. It's unique to you. And if you share that link and other people use that link to buy raffle tickets or make a donation, you will get, I don't remember exactly what it is. I think it's one of those, depending on like what you spend, like for however many tickets they buy, you get so many tickets for free. So the more you share and the more people donate through your link towards the overall, the more raffle tickets you get for free for a chance to win. So that's a good way if there's some stuff in there that you really want to win. Sharing that link is key, because, you know, some people, you know, even though it's a charity and whatnot, people only are able to donate so much, but they want to have more tickets. So it's a great way to get more tickets for free. Definitely check that out. You can also text SMKTAB to 855-202-2100. That's SMKTAB to 855-202-2100, and that will also get you the link to the raffle the website right to your phones. You can just click it and go. But the website is go.rallyup.com/Smokin Tabacco 2023. That's go.rallyup.com/Smokin Tabacco 2023. If you head over to smokintabacco.com, you can also find the link up on the top bar under Cigar Family Charitable Foundation Fundraiser, and there's a link for 2023. You also can go and click 2022, and you can see what we did last year. The same page can pop up. It's closed, but you can see all the information. Mitchell, this is your first year being on board with this, so
I don't know if you knew this, but I actually donated last year.
I know you donated.
I would have had a very hard time getting the cigars to me if I won anything, or if I won anything it semi-big, it would have been hard, but I was just kind of like, I need to donate to this, and yeah.
Well, now you're ineligible.
I know.
Well, you can still donate. You can still donate in the general, but you're disqualified from prizes because I mean, now you're part of the team, so it's you know.
That's this is probably better, right? I get to spread the word. I get to try to help raise as much money as possible on my end, and hopefully get some Canadians involved in it, and tell them that it's not a lost cause if they get picked. There's ways we can get them stuff. So at least try our best to.
Yeah, we got this question last year. People asked, are international donations accepted? As much as I love and appreciate it, last year we ran into some logistical issues with that, so I'm really trying not to, only just because of international shipping
That's
and
fair.
all of that.
Exactly.
Again, I really appreciate it, and I'd love to, but after last year and some issues I had after, I'm trying to avoid that this year. Unless you got something very special and unique, reach out to me and talk to me first. We'll look into it, but I know that was a question. Also, can winners be picked who live outside the U.S.? I'm going to tell you, I'll say yes, because you know what? I don't want to discourage anyone from donating and participating in the raffle. But what I will say is just have patience with us if you do get picked, because shipping whatever you win to you, could take longer or whatever. So that's definitely something to just bear in mind, is it might take longer or whatever. So just, remember that. But if you don't want to be in the raffle, you can always just generally donate as well. But whatever you want to do, it is open to everybody. So I will say that.
It's a great cause too.
Yeah, I will say that. So, and Mitchell, you actually mentioned that you have something that you might be putting in there as well.
Yeah, I actually just picked them up today for the raffle. I'm putting in some CAO Borealis. It's a Canadian exclusive. I think it is technically a regular production, but it's not like huge production since they use a tobacco from Canada inside it. So it's grown in Canada, and it's a Canadian exclusive. So that will be up for grabs, and I might throw in a little bit something else too, maybe some Canadian whiskey, something again hard to find in the U.S. that we can get up here. Maybe some maple syrup.
Ooh, I like a good maple syrup. That's
some grade A, high quality, dark
Canadian
brown maple syrup. Fresh from my maple tree in the backyard. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have a maple tree.
So yeah, no, that's what's up for grabs. I'm sorry, that's what's going on up for grabs is a lot of things so far. The ones that have been made public are some stuff from the Opus X Society. La Flor Dominicana's stuff is not posted on the site yet, but I can tell you there's going to be some Andalusian bowls. There's going to be some of the canvases. I think John said he's going to be mad at me if I say the wrong thing, but whatever. I'm sorry,
He's always
John.
mad at you anyways.
He is. He's always mad at me. He's always going to next to grind. I think some of the ashtrays that they do, I think, are going to be included in that. We haven't really finalized it, but he mentioned some stuff. So LFD's going to have some really cool stuff. There's some stuff from Room 101. Pete Johnson from Tatawahe said he's going to do kind of a mystery pack that he's going to put together. So we don't know the specifics on that yet. He confirmed that he's involved, but he's going to put something together. So something unique and really cool.
Pete's good.
Yeah, so if you know Pete Johnson, you know Tatawahe, you know it's going to be cool. So it's going to be a mystery pack. So only the winner will find out in the end. Rabbit Air has donated an A2 air purifier unit. We'll have prizes from Cigar Coop, JC Newman, Red Meat Lovers Club, Drew Estate, Agnor Salif, and from our friends at Smoke Inn. One item that I think a lot of people are going to be really interested in is a box of 10. The original box of 10 of the 2021 Great Smoke Opus X from the Great Smoke a few years ago.
That might be the biggest prize.
So far it is. Last year we had some pretty big stuff, and it's
I don't
still
know who's
early.
gonna top that.
It's still early, but I think that might be the big one so far. So that's definitely up for grabs too. So thank you to our friends at Smoke Inn for generously donating that to the cause. So like I said, March is when we kick off. Now, what I will say is maybe I will start it early, depending on, if once I get everything finalized, if everything is 100% ready to go early and people are waiting for it and people keep asking me about it, I might open it up early. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. So March 17th is definitely the date as of right now, but if anything, it might start early, but definitely no later. So I will tease that. If I get enough of a demand and it's ready to go, I don't know. Maybe we'll start a couple weeks early. We'll see. Remains to be seen. Anyway, let's get back to our guests. I don't want to leave them out in the dark for too long.
Definitely.
I have to find my. Here it is. I've almost perfected hosting the show without Nicole. I'm like,
You know, you're doing great. You're doing better every single week. Honestly, it's becoming much more, not pressing random buttons anymore.
I know she did pretty good making sure I understood everything, because to be honest with you, from the beginning she was always doing it for me, so that I could always just focus on everything else, and like now I'm doing the double duty like Coop does. Although I will say Coop doesn't have the interface like we do.
Well, I'm here to help out. Ask some of the tough questions.
Yeah, I know you're my tech support guy. But Fouad and Romy, thank you for hanging in there with us. But as we get towards the end of the show, I'm getting caught up with some of the comments here. Sorry. As we get towards the end of the show, first of all, I want to thank you both for being here. I want to thank you guys for everything you have done, not only for in the industry, but for everyone outside of the industry. You guys have an amazing story. You're an amazing couple. You guys have amazing people that you work with, who work for you. You guys have certainly accomplished a lot, and I sincerely wish you the best as you guys continue on this journey of growing your brand and all of your other efforts that you do in the community.
Thank you so much. And Matt, if you send me your address, I will send something for the raffle also.
I think you guys already.
Oh, thank you.
I think you guys are already in. I think Rod actually set that up.
He sent the box, but I will send you something special.
Okay. Thank you very much. We really appreciate that.
I hate when Pete Johnson's doing something special, so I have to beat it.
Oh, Pete. Pete.
It's a good thing to create this kind of competition, a competitive way of approaching the donations. That's great. You just kind of
fun competition.
See, Romy's got the right idea. This is what makes it more fun, right? See, these guys are amazing. They're already getting into the spirit of it. I love this. You guys are great. But no, seriously, thank you guys for being here. Is there anything else that you wanted to let us know about or say that we didn't cover tonight? Anything we left out before we sign off the show?
No. Well, we just invite people, whomever. Hiram and Solomon Cigars. It's a cigar made for everyone, not just for the Masons. The idea is that's they're a Masonic cigar for the Masons only. That's not true. It is for everybody to enjoy. That's why we have the hashtag Everyone's Cigar. We invite everyone to discover our secrets, to smoke the cigars, because every cigar that they smoke, part of that goes to charity. And at the same time, we're sure that we have something in the profile that appeals to everyone's palates.
Absolutely.
Mitchell, thank you so much for all the hard work you guys are doing, also to expose us, to keep everyone in the loop, in the same image that we are trying to reach as much people as possible. And shows like this we're always more than happy to participate and have this discussion, and also all the followers, they need to know more about the brand, the people behind it, the hardworking people that are part of the family also. So yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, this was
for Nicole.
Yep.
But best wishes to Nicole for a safe landing. So.
Yeah, we're almost outside the first trimester, so she's got a little bit of ways to go, but we're definitely excited. So it's gonna be a journey, to say the least. And I know she's watching. What was that, Romy?
I said we're gonna have the mascot of the show of the baby.
Yeah. A lot of people, made the joke. I proposed to her at PCA 21. We got married at PCA 22, and everyone kept joking like, "Is the baby gonna come?" And I was like, "No." But the baby ended up coming sooner than we thought. So, but I don't think it's gonna land at PCA. We're not due till I think the end of August. So I think we're gonna just miss the trade show. So,
best of luck. I hope you're not gonna name it Corojo or Maduro or something.
No. The baby, we know the gender of the baby. We know the name already, but we're keeping that to ourselves until the end. So, No, it will not be. It will not be cigar related. I promise. But we're very excited. We're very excited. So, but thank you guys. We appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you guys at PCA later this year. It's like I said, it's always a pleasure to see you guys. So, thank you for being here.
Shoot me an email with an address.
Matt is already texting him to tell him send me the address.
Yeah, we're already on it.
It'll be super fun to get to meet you guys in person at PCA. I'll definitely be there as well. So
looking forward.
I'll see you soon in Canada, Mitchell.
Oh, and also,
yeah, if you guys are ever up here, up in the west coast of Canada, just send me a text, send me an email. We'll I'll host you guys for sure. I know lots of places we can hit up and some places we can smoke and stay warm.
Well, definitely. And again, like I said, maybe not us first thing will be there. Our cigars will soon be there. So for the Canadian smokers, soon we're gonna have our cigar.
And before I let you go, where can people go to find out more information about you and all of your other things that you do?
HiramandSolomonCigars.com. You can join our Facebook page, Hiram and Solomon Friends. On Instagram, everywhere. We post everywhere.
And you guys are doing a great job also spreading the word and spreading all the news that we're always updating. And you guys are there also to cover it. Thank you so much again.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's our job. That's why we're here. We help get the word out. So, thank you for helping us help you. Glad to be a part of it. But guys, that's going to be our show for this week. Thank you for everyone that's watching at home. If you're listening later, thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel and everywhere you get your podcasts: Apple, Google, Spotify, Podbean. Hit that subscribe button. Download the episodes. It helps us grow. And you get to listen to some great shows. Spare Notes will be back this Saturday night. Myself, Mitchell, and William Cooper, what is now being the Holy Trinity, will be back on Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern for another round of Spare Notes. Coop's going to talk to us all about his trip to Puro Sabor in Nicaragua, and maybe we'll get into some other things as well. But for now, stay tuned. Head over to SmokinTabacco.com for more news and information from the cigar industry, cigar reviews, as well as for more information on our Cigar Family Charitable Foundation fundraiser. And we'll see you on Saturday night. Take care, everybody.
Have a great night.
Good night.